1, 2, 3, 4.
There are times I wonder if I'm really alone. There are times I wonder if I'm true. There are times when I feel alone and I'm full roam. There are times I feel alone with you. You are enough of you. And there's always a love for you.
Sometimes I wonder if I'm real or if I'm seen.
I see everything, you are enough for me. You are enough for you.
I would say that I haven't experienced a lot of harassment because of my gender, and I think part of that plays into some areas of privilege that I have. Being white, being a person who was assigned female at birth, but presenting sometimes in a more masculine fashion or a little gender different for that. I feel like that lends me some privilege in that I don't get a lot of unwanted attention for that. So I recognize that, and so now I haven't got a lot of outright harassment for my gender identity.
I have experienced harassment, called all the gay slurs, called all the Asian slurs. They don't ever know which one to use. They don't know that I'm Vietnamese. They're always like, whichever one is Japanese, one is Chinese slurs. I don't know if my gender has really been called out. I mean, besides being called girly and stuff, which is the opposite of what I want to present as.
Almost daily still in the workplace, I experience harassment for my gender. Some of it's microaggression, like people don't even realize that they're doing it. And I just, call them out on it and be like, hey, you might not realize it, but this is what's going on, this is what you're doing, and it's causing you to feel this way. So here are some other, options or other things that you can say that wouldn't be so aggressive or, towards somebody else's feelings.
I go to a school where I think the support is really obvious and the ways that it's just not okay to be harass people for things like that. So I felt more of that on an online presence and some people at my school and just people I don't know feel more comfortable online saying really how they feel than maybe especially in public settings where it's kind of flipped a little bit where it's more socially unacceptable to harass somebody.
I have experienced harassment because of my gender. Because when I was in high school, I went to high school in Texas, and the high school that I went to, the principals were not exactly the most accepting group of people, neither were the teachers. And I waged war on my school because I was constantly bullied, I was constantly harassed because I presented as a boy, and I looked like a boy. I tried my best. I wore the baggy clothes, but I didn't look like a boy, and I wasn't, and I'd get mad and I'd get in fights if people called me a girl, but I constantly got harassed. I've been gay bashed before. I've done my time in the hospital. I've got a traumatic brain injury from it, and it was all set up by a principal at high school, and so I've taken it from the top end, and I've dealt with it my whole life. And one of the reasons I moved to the Pac Northwest was originally because the fact that I couldn't stand the fact that every time that I'd go to a bar, if I went into the wrong bathroom or I didn't know what bathroom to go into, I'd get in a fight with somebody more. And I got tired of it. I got tired of being harassed by the police. I've been arrested because literally they didn't like my kind, was what they said, in East Texas. And I've been locked up for it 1 month. So I had to leave. And since I've been here, I haven't had nearly the harassment that I've had in Texas.
Not outwardly walking down the street necessarily, but I've definitely been catcalled, both when I was more femme and then also how I, dress like less than. So yeah, that's like a form of harassment that I don't like.
Oh, yes. White gay boys. Just like total, blinders on, like not even acknowledging a hello or goodbye. I feel like I'm not really part of the community because of it. It's not fun, but I find my people, and I try not to worry about the random social interaction. I just wish that it was easier. Like, we're in the same team. Like, honestly, we're more the same than you think. So I think that it comes from there's a lot of racism towards Asian men, not being manly, not being like manager material, not being able to be in charge of stuff. I don't know why. It's very strange to me, because I feel like a very capable person. The harassment though kind of stops at like, I feel safest with people who identify as female or closer to the female spectrum than your average Joe white guy gay man.
I have experienced it in the LGBTQIA plus community. Sadly, I did it first. Whenever I first started coming out to my friends, I have a lot of friends that were drag queens. I lived with them whenever I was younger, and so I spent a lot of time in the gay bars and in the neighborhood in Dallas. And when I came out to them, a lot of them looked at me and go, "Well, why can't you just be happy being a lesbian?" Because I'm not a lesbian. And why can't you just be happy being in the body that you are? Because this isn't my body. Somebody screwed up along the way. I didn't do this. I don't have the receipt to return, And it hurt. It hurt a lot. And then, I thankfully, once I started hormones and I was able to start presenting easier and easier for them to see, it slowed down, and they realized how happy that I am, and that that how much better I was in life, and it stopped and it slowed up, but it caused me to push back from that community a lot because it hurt a lot.
I mean, we remember everything that people say to us. It's not like it just passes through and doesn't affect us. So I think that the more people try to impress upon me like what their assumptions of my gender are, the less I care about who they are as a person. Because if they're not going to allow themselves to see me, why should I have to choose to see them?